Well, today, government will try once again to get its proposed tax measures passed by Parliament. We've been at it for days. We're talking about the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, and the Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill. They were supposed to be tabled before the House yesterday for a vote, but that did not happen. The minority has signaled its intention to reject the tax measures when they are tabled before the House. Government argues it needs those tax measures passed for an IMF deal. Let's head to Parliament now, where our correspondent, Kwawu Asante, is on standby to give us the latest. Kwawu, good afternoon to you. Has the House started sitting yet?
Yes, the House started sitting about 15, 20 minutes ago, but they haven't zoomed into the question of the tax measures yet. Today is the last day before Parliament goes on Easter break. It appears the taxes will be the bigger business for the day. That is if the majority side are able to get the numbers. The only reason why these taxes have been on the other platform that long is because the government side does not have the numbers to be able to get it through. But we expect that as soon as we can count at least 137 majority MPs, the question will be put on the floor of Parliament and a vote will ensue. Critically needed is Dom Kabenya MP, Sarah Joasapo, to come in to complement the numbers of the majority. In time past, they could have done without her, but a colleague of theirs has just passed on, the person of Honorable Philip Basua, which has shortened the majority MPs numbers to 136. The other independent MP is 137, plus Sarah Joasapo. So without Sarah Joasapo, the numbers become 136 apiece on both sides. And if 136, the motion will be lost. Mind you, this is not a secret vote. This is an open vote. It's usually a voice vote. Yeah, no. After which, if each side are not happy with the speaker decision on the voice vote, they can request division, a head count. And then MPs will be called one after the other. They will raise their hands. And so when it comes to that, there is very little room for either MP on both sides to break ranks with the party, because that will be very, very, very audacious. And MPs know the consequence that comes with that. And so the government side is hoping that they will get the numbers. Early on, the majority chief whip addressed a news conference on some unrelated matters having to do with NHIS. I went to him afterwards and asked him if the vote on the tax measures should be coming in. He says we should keep our eye on the floor of Parliament, clearly indicating that they want to get to the point where they can count all their numbers to come in before they will go ahead. But as we speak, both sides have not shifted their stance. The minority still insists they will vote against the measures. The majority, however, says that they are going to vote for it. Yesterday, I spoke with Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, who told me that government said similar things about the economy. If you don't pass e-levy, government is going to go to IMF. If you don't pass e-levy, the economy is going to break. But we passed the e-levy, and still there were considerable challenges with the economy. And so they are not going to support these tax measures. They are going to back the positions that have been taken by AGI, GUTA, the Food and Beverage Association, and other industry players. Daryl.
But is this vote really going to happen today if it's about numbers and waiting to have the numbers to ensure that, for instance, the majority wins this vote? Because it's really critical for them to do so because there's going to be an Easter break, and then it's also crucial that they get this to the IMF so that there's some board approval. And again, what are the chances that this vote won't pass?
I think all this hinges on MP for Dom Kabenya, Sarah Joasapo. If Joasapo comes in, it is expected that NDP will get 137 MPs to be able to push this through. If she does not, there's no way NDP gets the numbers. So Joasapo is the deal breaker here. She's the most important person on the majority side today. It's 1-6. She has not been seen in the chamber yet. She hasn't arrived in Parliament. She was here yesterday, but she has not arrived today. If she comes in, that would bolster the majority. Because over the past few weeks, they've been able to get consistently the other 136 MPs to come to the floor. And if they get Sarah Joasapo today, they'll be able to push this through. If they don't get Sarah Joasapo, that is it. Because the majority side say, the minority say they will close ranks, they are going to stay together. They hope that this becomes a redemption, that they are able to use this to pacify Ghanaians for their failure or inability to reject some of the Kufado's ministerial nominees. And so it is a make or break session today. And Sarah Joasapo is all the difference that will be needed by the majority side to be able to get this over the line. If she does not come in, they don't get 137, it becomes 136, and the vote will be lost.
Well, does this also signal that there was no agreement reached? Because yesterday we were reporting that the leadership of the minority and majority caucuses were trying to make a last-ditch agreement over the proposed tax measures. Nothing came out of that.
Yes, as we understand now, the minority have not been budging. We understand they are proposing some significant amendments, which government is not amenable to, because if the amendments are so deep, then they make the taxes worth it would not be worth anything. For instance, if they want to charge 5% tax after profit, and you want to reduce that to 0.5%, for instance, then they will make no difference. So both sides holding quite entrenched positions, and so it is expected that it will come to the floor for a vote. I've seen the other paper for today. Some amendments have been listed on it, but they are not far-reaching enough to be able to get each side to drop some of their positions. And so when it comes down to the vote, what will be important is that the majority side are able to get their 137 MPs to be on the floor to be able to get this through.
And in all of this, Adwoa Safo is the savior, and so the majority has to pray that she shows up. Thank you so much, Kwawu Asante. We'll be checking in with you as and when there are new developments, but that's the latest from Parliament. Still no mention of the tax revenue measures as of now. As Kwawu Asante indicates, it's come down to the numbers. Who has the numbers? And like he points out, the majority are banking their hopes on Adwoa Safo to be there so that they can get this vote passed. But you know that the business community has kicked against the tax measures. They have warned that it could lead to the collapse of businesses. Now, some other interesting development we want to report. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is raising concern about a decline in port traffic, and it's called a meeting of stakeholders in the maritime industry to discuss this. At that meeting was the Ghana Union of Traders Association, whose president joins us in a bit. But the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, in a letter to the stakeholders, mentioned that they noticed the decline from June last year, and is carried through till the first quarter of this year. And so very concerned there, because it also borders on revenue mobilization. Joining us, president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng. Are you surprised, sir, about this development?
No, I'm not surprised at all. We've been saying this all the time. Now the port is empty. Why is it empty? It's empty because it is not in competition with itself. It's in competition with the rest of other ports in the sub-region. And that's, you are in competition to get even the landlocked cargoes and all that. If you look at the shipping line charges alone, once that the component of clearing cost, the shipping line component of it, that of Togo is less than 1.5, and that of Ghana is about 6.8. That alone is deterrent for people to stop coming here. Then you look at the cost of doing business at our port is extorsively high, and it's so frustrating. And that's naturally people will run from such a port. It's a business place. People compare it to other business places trading in the same product. In this case, the service that they provide is to clearing of goods. And if the clearance of goods is extorsively high, it's obvious that people will find other areas to do their transaction. And this is what is happening. And now, if you look at the internally, and you look at the reversal of the benchmark values, it has increased duties. And if the duties are so much that sometimes you are unable to clear your goods, and sometimes the goods have to be auctioned. And who will risk that? If you cannot afford paying the duty, then you don't have the business of importing the goods. I hope you understand. And those people who want to cut edges will also do so through smuggling. And we have been saying this, that if cost of doing business at the port is affordable, compliance level is so high and that people will want to bring their goods. Let me give you one scenario. Before the reduction of the benchmark values in 2019, Cote d'Ivoire was importing rice of 1.5 million metric tons. After bringing the reduction of benchmark, where duties have reduced in Ghana, the importation of rice reduced drastically from 1.5 metric tons in Cote d'Ivoire to 1 million metric tons. What does this tell you? It means that over 500,000 metric tons was being smuggled through the Western Corridor, through Elibo, Godokrom, and elsewhere in the Brahafo, and then come to Ashanti region, then find its way to Accra. And this is what we are telling. Now we are losing business to Togo. And people are bringing their goods to Togo, especially the landlocked business that we are having, the Burkina Faso and all that. And so we have to look. And then aside this, the roadblocks, even our brothers in Kumasi are complaining that after they clear their goods from the Tema port, then they have to contend with numerous roadblocks at on the road, and that sometimes they are being made to pay extra monies and all that before they will be able to clear their goods. So policing, this task force, and all that make it so frustrating to do business at the Tema port, and that they have to look at all these things if they want to make the Tema port very attractive again. So we are losing business. I've told you we are not competitive at all in the sub-region. In the sub-region, the business that we do, we are ceding our attraction to Togo, Nigeria, and elsewhere. And this is what has happened to the Tema port also.
And the GPHA is obviously worried because of the implications for revenue mobilization. But there are also some people who think, oh, well, this is very good. If you look at the positive side, that means you're not going to be importing so much, and we can actually locally produce what we need.
No, but sometimes they don't also know that importation is not limited to those of us who are trading, and that manufacturers is also affected the same way. Yeah, and so it should not be defined that only the goods that we are bringing to trade with. And so that one is too simplistic. The cost of doing business is just too high. Because there are some countries that are not manufacturing countries, and so we cannot pretend that we are advanced nation and that we are industrial nation and that we do not need import. Countries like Dubai do not have manufacturing entities, but they survive on trading. Our neighbors Togo are surviving on trading. So who says trading is negative? Vibrant, there wouldn't be any vibrant industrialization without vibrant distribution network. And that we should ensure that we have a very vibrant distribution leg for manufacturing. Otherwise, we cannot even thrive in our quest for industrialization. And so I don't agree with those people who think in that line.
Okay.
Because we have to be able to do business, and we have to also attract the business. The business that we do not do it in isolation. We do it in competition with our neighboring countries, and who are having the edge over us because their cost of doing business is far below, and it's attracting businesses from even from Ghana and from the rest of other member states in the sub-region.
I see that the Association of Ghana Industries was in that meeting, Chamber of Commerce, Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Importers and Exporters Association, and the Association of Custom House Agents. Would you say that it was a fruitful meeting based on the deliberations you had?
Very fruitful meeting. The car dealers were also there, and the car dealers were also complaining that they are unable even to bring their cars, the prices that they are paying, especially for the so-called luxury cars and all that, the challenges that they are facing when they bring their cars and then they allow Interpol to come to flash those the so-called stolen cars away, because they are third-party buyers. They are not the people who stole these cars. And then why were these cars even able to go through the port of exit in the first place? How were they able to even go through the port of origin before coming here? And they are just third party. And in somewhere other countries, they are not tolerating Interpol, because these people are not the people who go and steal the cars. They have the legitimate documents and they are able to ship it through the port of entry. And so what is it about? And so these people are all shying away from buying the cars. And customs got a lot of money from these car dealers. And now they are also challenged. And nobody is even fighting for their cause. The fact that they are being victimized of these stolen cars, and they are, after they brought these goods, they come and take all these goods and their capitals. Most of them have lost their capitals. And then don't also forget that the effects of the forest. Last year, they depleted most of our capitals. I was telling you in most of your interviews that our capital have been depleted. So if you have a capital that could bring goods worth of about 4 containers, and your capital was depleted last year about 50%, it means that you are only able to bring 2 containers. So that effect was also very, very, very immense and very impactful and negatively to our imports.
Well, finally, I mean, the whole of this week, you've been raising concern about the proposed tax measures. You are asking government to, take a second look at it because of this impact on the business community. The government is bent on having that vote today. Chances are that it will be passed, and it looks like your calls have fallen on deaf ears. After today, if it's passed, what's going to be the implication, do you think, for businesses?
Yeah, if I believe Parliament does not represent itself. Parliament does not represent its own interest. It represents the interest of the people who voted for them. We are their constituents, and so our interest is paramount. In this case, particular case, all the business community is against this tax because we are overburdened already. And so I believe Parliament will serve our interests rather than serving their own interests. They do not represent themselves. They represent the people of Ghana. And so if they pass this, I will be very surprised. And that maybe our faith in them will go down.
All right.
Better so, I still believe that they will do the needful so that businesses are not collapsed. IMF doesn't mean that going to IMF doesn't mean we have to kill businesses. It may not augur well for the transformation agenda that we seek, that we want to transform our economy. And so they have to think again, because we could have used other options to enhance on our revenue collection rather than adopting this particular one, especially the growth and this and sustainability. Living. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Obeng. I appreciate your time with us, President of GUTA there. You're watching The Marketplace. Still to come, the Securities and Exchange Commission has been speaking about the Investor Protection Fund, which it hopes will help restore market confidence. We'll tell you about it after this break. Welcome back to The Marketplace. The Securities and Exchange Commission says its proposed Investor Protection Fund will take off next year. The fund is expected to protect investors or give them support when their investments go bad. Director General of the SEC, Reverend Daniel Ugbami-Tete, has been speaking on PM Express Business Edition.
So what we are lacking is a broader based investment fund, and that's why we are talking about the investor protection fund, which the idea would be to provide some minimum protection for investors. And I'm stressing minimum because in fact there's nowhere that, as far as I'm aware, so maybe
not even in US, and I know
where investment funds fully indemnify investors. The idea is to provide some minimum protection. Now we are aware that we don't have, apart from the Fidelity Fund, which is limited and defined
on the Ghana Stock
Exchange. We don't have anything for the asset management industry. So that's why we are now looking at creating the Investor Protection Fund. So a couple of, about 3-4 years back, we developed the concept paper, for it, but we need some assistance to structure it, because if you are going to attract funds into the fund from various entities, it has to be done in a certain way. So we are having to rely on the services of a consultant to help us properly structure it and then to mobilize the fund. So we are at the stage in terms of doing that background work, to set it up and then to look at how to attract funds into it. So I want to believe that by the end of this year we should have completed the process of having it set up, and then we can look at how it will be funded in a way that it will serve the purpose.
So some of the all other things being equal, maybe from next year this fund should take off. Looking at the work that you've done so far,
I am confident that from next year we should, because we need to have it in place.
Now, some electrical contractors have raised questions about the quality of lighting in markets across the country. President of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association, Awal Sakib Mohammed, says the situation needs to be improved. He was speaking at a seminar to adore a new Smart Plus lighting feature by LEDvance. There's more in this report.
The new LEDvance Smart Plus lighting solution can be controlled using an app from phones and makes use of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The product is durable and has a total lifespan of 10 years. Speaking in an interview, Managing Director for LEDvance Middle East and Africa, Michelangelo Anovazi, said the product was tailored to meet demands emerging from the market.
When we talk about Ghana and the country in the West Africa region, we truly believe in an approach that is supposed to be tailor-made for the country-specific demand. We try to offer to our clients and our partner products that really fit into your market, into your taste, into your demand, and on the specific requirements that each country might have. Our portfolio is somehow tailor-made to be able to answer to your local expectation. That's how we approach each and every country. And I'm extremely happy and proud to say that Ghana is one of the countries where we would like really to focus. We truly believe that in this country there is a need of products with a certain level of quality, reliable warranty, and these are all things that you can find from LEDvance.
President of the Ghana Electrical Contractors Association, Awal Sakib Mohammed, added that there is the need to improve the quality of light in the market to meet the demands of customers.
The need for high quality or good quality lighting can never be overemphasized. In fact, adequate lighting has a lot of implication even on your health. So a quality lighting is a matter. Ghana has always been about quality. You go to the market and you find a lot of the influx of a lot of poor quality lighting fixtures, lamps and all that. So you buy a light within a 2 or few days and then the light goes off. The lights, most of the lights, you are not able to meet our local kind of voltage, the kind of power quality that we have. So these are high-end brands that we are sure can withstand the test of time. Yeah.
The new Smart Plus lighting is convenient and quick to install.
And that's our show this afternoon. Thanks for watching. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Our top story there, BOG denies introduction of 500 CD coin. You can read more about that, myjoyonline.com/business. And thanks for watching. Marketplace returns next week.